This is the very bike that took me across the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. I cycled from Agadir over to Marrakesh in some absolutely breathtaking scenery. I wild camped under the stars and met some incredible people, and overall it was probably one of my favourite bikepacking trips I've ever been on. In this video we're going to run through the setup that I used and what I carried on that epic adventure. If you've been with this channel for a while, you'll know that I've had this bike a very long time. This is my 2019 Cannondale Topstone, and over the years it's seen a lot of changes and it's taken a proper beating. I've cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats, it's been to California, Iceland, Morocco twice now, the Outer Hebrides, pretty much everywhere you can think of in Scotland. This bike has been able to do it, and I remember buying it brand new for £700. But as I've said, it's gone through a lot of changes. It's got a brand new bikepacking setup on it now, and I absolutely love it. If you want to know more about the bike itself, I did a video on it 2 or 3 years ago now. I'll put a link up there and in the description. That runs through the specs of the bike, and not much has changed on here apart from the bikepacking setup, which I'm going to run through now. It's worth mentioning at this point that Old Man Mountain have become a recent sponsor of the channel, and as you can see, the vast majority of the setup comes from them. However, I'm not just talking about this bike because they're sponsoring me now. I actually reached out to them because I really like their products. I've been using them for years anyway. I've got them on my other bike, so it kind of made sense for us to start working together, which I'm really thankful that they agreed to do. Let's have a look at the bags. Let's start at the front of the bike. We'll start with this. This is the Manzanita handlebar cradle from Old Man Mountain. It's been designed alongside Salsa cycles. It's a really good piece of kit, and I'm actually giving one of these away at the end of my Morocco film, so leave a link for that. Make sure you watch it and enter that competition. It's completely free. This is an absolutely amazing bag. It comes with an integrated cradle, 100% waterproof. It's got a little pocket at the front, which I've said in the past, I'm not surprised that other companies don't do this. You can just stuff stuff in the front, it's so easy. It means if you've got sweets, sun cream, whatever, whack it in there and you know you can get access to it. You don't have to reopen everything. Really good solid piece of kit. You do need some straps to go around it. I haven't put them on today, but some extra straps to go around just to clamp it on. It does have some hooks, so it can stay on, but those straps mean that it's super secure and it does not fall off at all. In Morocco, that's where I stored my sleeping equipment. So my bivvy bag, sleeping mat, sleeping bag liner, all of that stuff, and pillow and stuff like that, all in there. And it came in really handy. When I was wild camping in a valley, looking up at the beautiful stars, I was able to just take that bag off, chuck it down, and I knew everything was in it, and it was perfectly fine. Let's also look at these. I've been running the Old Man Mountain Hemlock Fort Packs for a while now. I took them up to Lapland of all places, and it was minus 25 degrees, and they were absolutely solid. So I was pretty certain they'd be good in Morocco as well. I've attached these to an axle pack which screws into the through axle. This doesn't have any mounts on the fork. It's a really old bike now compared to what we see nowadays. It's not really as efficient for bikepacking purposes as modern day gravel bikes. So with that axle pack, it means I can attach these. They're super secure. In there I just store my jet boil or my gas canisters, anything like that I'll be doing cooking with. If you've seen the Morocco film though, you'll know I was carrying a gas canister for about 200 miles that I couldn't actually use, which was a bit of a disaster. And at the other side, it's basically just snacks, food, extra supplies, things like that, maybe a first aid kit, but this is where I store stuff that I don't tend to need that often, but is important, so I need to know where it is. I really like that these are quick release. With just a flick of a switch, you can pull them off. So if you're worried about leaving your bike out overnight, or if you need to take it into a hotel or something, it's a piece of cake. You don't have to undo any straps. Super secure, even with just a clip. Moving on to the back of the bike, these are the Ponderosa panniers. I've had a set of these for a while. This is a new set just for this bike, but they are really robust. I'm pretty sure everyone who's had these would agree that they're just super durable. Very basic, just solid panniers, but they are waterproof and extremely tough. This material is very difficult to damage. You can see they're pretty filthy. That's because they've been on some pretty long, arduous trips. But that's just me not being bothered to clean them. They are really, really good pieces of kit. I need panniers for a couple of reasons. A lot of people ask me why I use panniers over bikepacking bags. The main reason is I have a drone in there that is pretty chunky. It's a DJI Mavic 3, and I can't really fit it in a circular small bag. It needs to be wide and sort of box shaped because it's in a protective case. So one of these panniers fills a drone, and that's pretty much it. In Morocco though, drones are banned, so I actually took the opportunity to have an extra pannier this time that I could put clothes in or other supplies. It was really handy. But even when I do have the drone, I usually put clothes and other essentials in the left pannier. It's usually just clothes in that one and drone in the other, but in Morocco I didn't have the drone, so I actually had two separate places where I could store gear, clothes, food, etc., which was really handy. And to the final piece of the puzzle that sits on top of the rack, this is the Atlas pack. This is the new 12-litre one, so it's pretty big. It has two side pockets, which means I can put extra essentials in there, sweets or whatever I fancy, something I need easy access to. I actually put an ND filter in the other one, which is pretty specific to my needs because I take my camera with me. The reason I really like this bag though is that it's got a load of storage capacity, but it has these bungee cords on top. This is essential for me. When I go on my bikepacking trips, I make films, so carrying a tripod can be really challenging. Having a bag like this, like I've used in the past with bungee cords, means you can strap the tripod to the top, secure it down, and it doesn't come off. The camera and all the other filming gear like microphones, batteries and stuff like that go inside the pack. So all I need to do is unclip it, pull it out, pull off the tripod, and I can set up the camera really simply. Again, this is a waterproof bag and incredibly robust, so ideal for when I'm going up to Scotland. In the past, I used to use a Topeak setup, and the problem I had with that is that the bags weren't waterproof. So if I ever went somewhere where it was absolutely chucking it down with rain, I'd have to put stuff in dry bags or just get it soaked, which wasn't nice. I don't have that problem anymore. Normally this entire back end will sit on an Old Man Mountain divide rack, which I've got on other bikes. It's an absolute bomb-proof piece of kit. You can either screw it into the through axle, or if you've got pannier mounts like I do, I can actually screw it into the frame, which is great. But the problem is, I am not running that rack at the moment, and it's entirely my fault. This is still the old Topeak rack that I've had for years, and I found when I tried to remove it, given that it has never been off the bike in about 6 or 7 years, that the bolts had been completely rounded, so I couldn't get it off at all, and that would mean drilling it out, drilling into the frame. I just didn't really fancy risking that the day before I flew to Morocco. Not something I really fancied risking, so I left it on. But that is going to come off as soon as I can get the bolts out. I'll be able to put the divide rack on, which is a much more sturdy rack anyway, and it fits the bags a lot better. But generally the whole system worked, and it has been an absolutely fantastic setup. So let's look at the middle of the bike. This is the only bit of the bike that isn't Old Man Mountain. I'm still running the Topeak setup I had before. This is a Topeak top loader, tiny little top tube bag. It's been fantastic. It's not waterproof like pretty much all Topeak bags, but it does have a little waterproof cover if I need to use it. The zip has pretty much gone on this, and it is really on its last legs, but it's been on there for so long, I'm just leaving it on until it officially breaks. In there, I basically put my keys, multi-tool, snacks I want access to, and other important things like a cable luggage lock to tie the bike up if I need to nip into a shop, and my head torch. There's nothing worse than rooting around in the dark trying to find your head torch. If you know it's in there, put it on, and that solves all problems. This is the Topeak mid loader, and that sits in the frame, fits really perfectly. Again, it's not waterproof, which isn't a massive deal in Morocco, but it can be a bit of a nuisance. In here is basically just two things: inner tubes and water. I carry a couple of inner tubes in here. They're quite bulky, and I've put a 2-litre bladder which runs from here over the top onto the handlebars, and that means I can have plenty of water. And you've probably seen I've got 3 bottle cages here plus the 2-litre, and I also had a little camelback thing which held a litre or a litre and a half that I'd clip onto my back. So I had, all in all, about 6 litres of water at any given time, which I needed in a place like Morocco. And the other thing to mention is I'm running pretty much an entire Redshift setup. I've got a suspension seat post, Redshift kitchen sink handlebars, the aero bars as well, and the suspension stem. That coupled with reasonable fat tyres on there means I do get quite a lot of cushion, which is ideal for the sort of riding I was doing in Morocco. So that's it. That's my bikepacking setup that I used for my epic cycle across the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. If you haven't seen that film yet, I would urge you to go and watch it. It's really, really good. There's a link up there and in the description. Check it out. There's also a few days left for you to potentially win this Manzanita roll-up bag, so go and watch that, follow the instructions, and it might be you. Any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.